let's talk about what we're doing. We're feeding this electrical panel. This is a 100 amp panel with a 60 amp breaker, and the wire is sized.
Oh, got it.
Oh, perfect. We've got our neutral, our hots. Pull your meter. I've got a breaker. There we go. Very good. We're live now. Okay, tilt forward. Good. Welcome to the Okie Woodsman channel. We're getting power to our detached garage. This is not a how-to, but this is how I'm doing it. And if you know about electrical, I do not mind you making suggestions and things I should have or could have done differently, but I'm gonna do the best I can. Everything ought to be to code. Here in Oklahoma, I have no code, but I always try to adhere to National Electric Code as often as possible. We'll explain what we're doing, why we're doing it, and hopefully this will go pretty well. Remember, this is not a how-to-do video. Always hire an electrician if you're not sure what to do. I wired this entire home, and I'm really happy with what I'm seeing here as I step outside. I have a spot. I'm gonna be able to come out right in here. It should come out, I think, not on this rib. Regardless, that's going to be my location. We're taking it over to there, and we're going to mount a 100 amp panel in there, but we're going to be feeding that with a 60 amp breaker. Let's get started. We're trying to go the most direct route, but we also have to factor in what we want to do with this wall. This wall should have 1 or 2 freezers on it. The reason why we're not going further into this corner is because I'm planning on putting an above ground storm shelter right here. That's going to be about 4 foot out. Now the other thing is, before I put the shelter in, I'm going to put insulation and plywood or drywall behind it. I'm not planning on insulating this entire space, but I don't want a shelter that's sitting out from the wall and just have studs open like this. It's just asking for trouble with leaves and spiders and just hiding spots. We're stubbed out, and we're going to use this auger that the Amish left us. Now, the story behind this is when they were augering posts up on our shop, they thought they were going to be able to do it by hand, and I saw that they were going to try to start by hand, and so I went and grabbed my personal auger for them. I just gave them the prerequisite immediately. I said, hey, if this breaks, don't worry about it. The only problem with it breaking is you just simply won't have it to use. Well, sure enough, it got broken. The auger broke. I gave them 3 different augers. 2 of them broke off, and they stopped at that point and went and bought their own just to finish the job. Now, I think they felt bad, and they left this auger for me. It was neatly set off to the side, and I think that's really cool. They didn't need to do it, but I appreciate it. And so, just in case someone watches this that knows my Amish crew, thank you guys. This is gonna be the first start with this thing. I'm gonna choke it. Very good, very good. This sure beats hand picking all of that. We just need to get it just a few inches under soil because we're also going to be putting more fill in here. It's right next to it. Just going to take it down this slope, and then I'm laying it across here because we're going to fill this back in once I cut that post shorter and put a new sonotube on there. Is it cracked? Good job, son. My boys already wrapped this up. I was helping my wife with something else. Just got a phone call. Got a very exciting delivery coming. And what do you think, babe?
That happened so fast.
Yeah, it is. So what's going to happen is the pipe's going to go down the wall. It's going to go right into the ditch. It's going to go, and then I got a 45 to go down here, and I'm going to come out right here. Okay, that's good. That's good.
I gotta make sure I get all of it off.
All right, good. Oh. All right, here. Oh, got it.
That's easy.
That's pretty cool, isn't it? Let it be known my child did a nicer glue job than me.
Insane.
All right, you're good.
It smells good.
This means that my wife is one step closer to having her extra freezer. She's been wanting a freezer for a while, haven't you, babe?
My first freezer.
We have a freezer in the house, but it's itty bitty, right?
Oh, you made it look big.
It's big?
It's little.
Okay, so you want a whole freestanding
I want a
freezer.
whole freezer. Guessing like.
Okay. Wow. Dang, that stuff seizes suddenly.
Which one, the big one or the small one?
Oh, dude, this is actually gonna work out perfect.
I told you.
Come and get this. Well, I'm just saying this piece right here.
Yeah.
And we're still gonna be. Oh, we might not be short.
Yeah, told you.
Okay, here, son.
You see anything wrong with this pipe?
Yeah, there's no bell end on it, but I got couplers up there. It's pretty cool having my boys. They're totally into this. Let's see how they do here. Oh, that works, huh?
Yep.
All right, and then as you put it in, go ahead and give it a good old twist.
Fast twist. Twist it fast.
Oh, that's good.
All right, there we are.
Yep.
Wow, that's actually about perfect, dude. We're not gonna have but
I told you, Dad.
maybe like a foot of
told
pipe.
you.
Yeah, dude, that's amazing. All right. I thought I was gonna have to buy another stick. I originally estimated correctly. Pretty exciting, huh, guys?
Oh yeah.
It's crazy. How did we lose dirt? I know how we lost dirt.
It's all down there.
Oh, I think that's him.
Nice.
I forgot to tell you. The truck driver, my coworker said he's seen you on TikTok. Yeah, he said he's seen actually that other truck on TikTok. He's like, I know who that was and I know who that guy is. Separate video because this is very exciting. We need to do this justice. Good job.
It's on.
And twist it.
It's on.
All right, let's see if you can get it together. Get it?
Yep, it's on.
Awesome. Not bad. Remember, we're gonna throw dirt on top of this, but I wanted to hug the ground for now, for when we do pile dirt onto it, it doesn't bow it down or we don't have, you know, a conduit floating in the air. So my boy was begging to do this. He loves doing it. Hold on.
Okay.
So this has been kind of hit or miss. It's an attachment to drive a grounding rod or a rod. So you might be wondering why we're driving it at an angle. We'll explain in a little bit. Go ahead, buddy. We're doing it at more of an angle because I think we were just getting into the base rock. We needed to go a little bit into regular fill at least. Go ahead. Though this is all fill, it's full of, you know, various sized rocks. We could be trying to go through a big one. Hopefully we'll just be able to turn it or break through the other, whatever it is that's hard down there. But the big thing is, the reason why we're not going straight down is because grounding it's a function of surface area on the ground rod. It's not depth. Now depth can help because of moisture, but we're going directly underneath the building, so hopefully it'll have kind of some retained moisture. And then secondarily, because we're going at a 45-degree angle, it can hopefully glance off of things better. if you're just going straight down, it's just not a good idea out here. Keep in mind, we are standing on a pile of rocks. Right now, you're kind of taking up all the slack, so you want to let it hammer. Now give it a shot.
Okay.
Dang it.
Oh.
Ow!
Running the ground wire down. My boys did a really excellent job getting the ground rod to really ground level, or below ground level technically. So I'm gonna... You like doing this stuff, son?
Yeah.
Yeah? Awesome. Turn it all by hand as much as you can. I've actually had some ground clamps that broke off when they had proper torque. It was just a thing that the company wanted, and that was pretty neat. Thanks for helping dig the ditch and all of that too. Inside, I made sure that the wire was not diving down immediately. I have it going up first, and that serves as a drip loop. If you ever have, or when you have, I should say, not if, but when you have water penetration, if the line goes down, it's gonna make it go into the structure. Now keep in mind, remember, I am not a professional. I have done low voltage stuff, and I did the entire wiring to this house here. And it's just little tips and tricks that I've learned along the way, but always reference the NEC and rural professionals. But again, out on our Oklahoma homestead, we have the ability and the freedom to do this ourselves.
I can tighten it more.
All right, let's go a little bit more there, bud. We had the perfect amount of ground wire left over from our house, which is really awesome. Just help save a little bit. I have a few returns. That's always beneficial as well. What's really cool is I am tracking all the purchases using the My Lowe's app, or whatever. I don't know what the heck it's called. I'm not associated with Lowe's at all, but that's all I got here. Regardless, it was pretty cool. There was like a $20 coupon because I've spent so much. You know, this electrical haul right here was $1,000 for the wire, the conduit, the panel, and so forth. Let's talk about what we're doing. We're feeding this electrical panel. This is a 100 amp panel, okay, with a 60 amp breaker, and the wire is sized to 60 amps, and it's number 6 THHN, which is spec'd to put in conduit. I don't know technically here in rural Oklahoma, if I were in the city, if they would let me bury Romex, but I'm doing it the more correct way. I'm putting it in 1-inch conduit. I was told I could probably get away with 3/4, but I figured 1 inch is just better. Now, the reason why I'm putting number 6 to a 100 amp panel is because it's being fed with a 60 amp breaker. My understanding is that there's allowances to where that 100 amp breaker just essentially serves as a disconnect. If they had a non-protected switch, I did some Googling, it just kind of doesn't exist. Or maybe they do, but they're probably expensive. But the point is the 100 amp protection is just null and void. We're protecting it with the 60 amp, but I still retain a disconnect in my outbuilding, my sub panel, right? So I have I'm doing a separate ground. My neutrals and grounds are separated on this end. Get done with this video and find out that I should have them. I'm pretty sure I do not bond them. I don't remember. I don't bond them. I think they're supposed to be separate on here. So I would love for you to comment down in the comment section. I'm planning on leaving them unbonded. My grounds and my neutrals are not going to be tied together at the structure. Good? You got it now? You got it, bud. That's not loose, dude. That's tight, buddy.
That's not tight.
That's tight. That's tight. It's tight enough. Okay.
I can get
So
that.
I want you to cut this off. Do not cut the good wire. Cut this wire. Let's see if my 12-year-old can do a Knipex cut here. No. Come from above and go straight down. Awesome. Why don't you bend that down now? You can just hammer it down. Lineman pliers are 100% functional as a hammer. Ask any lineman. All right, very good.
Easy.
Good work, my man. You just grounded our sub panel. How's it feel?
Good. Copper expensive.
It is expensive. Good work.
Thanks.
I got this on sale when we were building the house, and I've used it to drill some concrete, but really it's driven more ground rods than anything. This was well worth it. If I can find one of these on Amazon, I will go ahead and put a link. So my buddy Tom has a viral video on YouTube Shorts about sucking a pull rope into a big conduit for primary power, I believe. And man, people took off. People just had an absolute blast with that. He was pulling, how many feet, Tom? Couple hundred, few hundred feet? I don't know. But it was a pretty good video. I got this spool of mule tape on Amazon. I'll put links down to that below. This was a pretty darn good deal. The quantity is just a bunch. And the thing is you can never go wrong with mule tape. We always loved having it on the trucks. You know, anytime there was mule tape laying around, we'd pick it up. It's just flat out nice to have. So we're using this right here as a wad per se. I'm gonna be vacuuming from that side over there, and my son is gonna go ahead and shove this in here, and we're gonna be feeding this down. Hopefully it'll go right through, and the goal is to then just be able to pull wire from that side back to over here, and I don't really wanna cut this off the spool if I don't have to. Is it doing good though?
Yes.
Okay, hold on. So I was vacuuming and vacuuming, and then I decided to look in there with a light, and it was actually in here. It's probably been sitting in here for quite some time. Yep. So you're right, it did wad up. Anyway, there you are. So for our hots, we're using black, red. For our neutral, we're using white. These are all number 6. Copper. These suckers for 50 feet was about $100 a roll. And then we're using a number 10 THHN for our ground. So 4 conductors going through this conduit. The big thing here is you don't lose a single conductor through here. Oops. Go ahead and start, buddy. Go ahead, buddy. It's got to be smooth pulls. Hold on, hang tight. Hang tight, buddy. So the wire did get tangled up. Definitely not the best situation, but wasn't too bad. I have my other son holding on the end on the other side. Hey, you're gonna have to walk it, okay, son? Yeah, it's gonna be hard. Ready? I'm glad I upsized the conduit.
Yeah.
Good job. And no jerking, just smooth pulls if you can, okay? How's it going? Is it going good?
Yeah.
We're getting close. I hope we're getting close.
Yeah, you hope.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to get done.
Oh, got it.
Oh, perfect. Okay, get it the rest of the way.
Got it.
Okay, get through.
Okay, very good. That should be enough. Now, this is the deal. That was 50 feet of wire. We're not going to have much extra. But I think we're going to have enough. Thank you, babe.
I'll pull some more.
Don't pull anymore. Don't pull anymore. If we pull it through the pipe, we're in trouble. So this is what we've got on this end, which is going to terminate into the panel, no problem at all. I'm going to go terminate that side, then we'll pull the slack back. We'll terminate here, and we'll see what we have left out of 50 feet. Nothing pulled, nothing slipped. If you ever struggle with pulling wire, that's the way that I have done it, pulling low voltage communications. And we'd pull 7 or 8 Cat 6s at once. Never be shy of tape and mule tape. Tape and mule tape are your friends, that's for sure. If this was communications wire and this was cheap, I would not be untaping this, I would cut it off. But when it comes down to this right here, we are going to untape because we want every last inch of it. Expensive stuff. Plus, I don't want to be short. That would be a bad deal. guys run your wire black on the left or black on the right? Why? Why is it? I was saying earlier, I'm not planning on any 220 circuits in here. I'm kind of thinking that should someday, if we have some sort of electric vehicle, whether it be a plug-in type hybrid, or, you know, if it's full electric, you know, you got to think towards the future. It's hard to know whether or not that's actually going to ever take hold. I think it probably will, and probably this 60 amp service may not be enough. However, I think we can still do something with it. It would be way better than a 110 charger, that's for sure. Also, if we ever wanted to put some sort of mini split in here, insulate or whatever, you know, if you think about it, this is larger than a 50 amp RV service, and that's quite a bit of power on those big motorhomes. 60 amps, I think ought to do for us. I was thinking about actually putting a true 100, but like I said, I don't really have a plan on, you know, any superchargers or anything like that. I mean, really, who is really super excited about electric vehicles right now? I mean, I just don't know. You know, that's one thing about this light. I wish it would fold this way. Every time I use it, I want it to fold that way. 3 20 amp breakers and 3 15s. I'll probably put one additional 20. I'm gonna do a 20 for my garage door openers, a 20 for a freezer, and a 20 for potentially a second freezer or refrigerator combination type deal. Then we'll have 15 amp circuits for lighting. I've got the lights ordered already. Man, stuff is so inexpensive on Amazon. So inexpensive on Amazon. All right, so we've got a little bit of slack, not a lot. I wouldn't mind having a little bit more in here, just a little bit. You never know when you want an extra inch or two. We've got our neutral, our hots, our ground attached to the ground rod, our breakers. Now what we'll be able to do is we'll run our Romex into here, attach the hot to here, the neutral to here, the ground over here. I'm gonna tell you what wire to pull on specifically, okay? Okay, hang tight, hang tight. Okay, now pull all of the other conductors, not the green. You're good, don't rip it off the house, please. All right. Okay, now all 4 of them at once, please.
Up. There you go. More.
Okay, wait, hold on. I'm gonna pull back on the green, okay? And I'm gonna pull back on the red and black. Pull on the white only. Okay, hold it. Okay, more, just a little bit more, buddy, not much. So my boy's about to go turn on the power. Stand here and make sure nothing sparks when he hits that breaker at the pole. That's one cool thing is our power cooperative, you can disconnect yourself. You don't have to have them pull your meter. I've got a breaker. There we go. Very good. Okay, so we're live now. Anytime you go back, it's not as pretty as it was before, but this is all my work. Again, I am not a professional. This is me doing what I know how to do based on just knowledge, just over the years, and doing communications and wiring large telephone cables and all of that. I also like doing network terminations on switches and all of that. So we've got our 2 hots, we got our neutral, our ground. We're all tied together. Everything should be all good. I'm actually gonna go button this up because we don't need this open anymore. And then we're gonna go test it on that side. But again, we have the breaker off here, so we should have no power over there. My boy's in there, he's about to turn on the power. Let's see if let's see what happens here. I gotta flip my breaker, hold on. Oh, that makes sense. If I would have had my breaker on. Hey, that's good, that means we're hot. All right, now let's see if we're hot. On the back planes here, we are.
Nice.
All right, and that means we should have power here. Well, I don't have that breaker on either. So let's flip that one on. Check that out. So we're gonna confirm this, guys. Let's make sure with a little tester here. All right, so we got a light here and a light here, which that says it's correct. These are actually a really helpful tool if you're in an older home with no grounds, or if you're just trying to chase down trouble. It'll tell you if you have an open ground, an open neutral, obviously it says open hot and ground reversed. But anyway, this right here shows with the 2 lights on and the 1 light off, that shows to be correct. That means that I wired this up correctly the very first time. Now, if you're unfamiliar, please, again, I am not an expert in this, but what we've got here is we've got 2 110 volt legs being fed with that black hot and the red hot. Our neutral, we've got our grounds. Let me know down in the comment section if I should be keeping my neutral and grounds separated on this. In fact, I wonder if I should have that ground. I'll have to do some research, guys. I don't really do a lot of, you know what? Yes, I just got a temporary receptacle plugged in. Now, I will say this, being that this is a garage and there's a potential for wet, this should be to code a GFCI, but I didn't want to go ahead and wire up a GFCI because this box is not exactly where I'm going to put them all on the wall. I want them to all be the same, but the point was to make sure that I had service. Now, this is not going to be correct, okay? I am going to isolate my grounds from my neutrals. My neutrals will be on the bus bars on the sides. I will run, when I pull official Romex into here, my grounds will all be terminated over on that side. And while I was doing that, my wife has been hard at work decluttering the shed over there. So the shed is going to become an actual shed. And now she has been boxing up, labeling. Check this out. She came up with this idea here. These are 3x5 cards. She kind of just said like, hey, it would be really cool if, and then I hopped on Amazon, and sure enough, that was an option, and it was super affordable, guys. Now these racks, those were not affordable. Baby, how much did we spend on those? It was about 400 bucks a rack about? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a lot.
Yeah.
And then we bought 40 of those. Mm-hmm. That's a ton of stinking totes. Are you gonna have extras?
Maybe.
You think? We should have extras
should
like
have
that.
extra.
Yeah, these guys, and we're getting our camping area set up. And we're gonna be working through all of this right here, figuring it out, but my wife wanted to have all the fishing poles in here. We'll eventually create some organization for those. You know what, babe, it's gonna be really exciting when you finally can turn on some lights, right?
Yes.
But you now have a receptacle, babe. So we can turn on something. We can put a lamp or a small, a fan. Yeah, a fan. And I picked this up for her today. This is gonna be like for car washing type stuff because my wife is actually quite a neat freak. And all that stuff has just been kind of jumbled up. So this is car wash stuff. Let's see if she's got anything in it already. That's nothing in there. Yeah, oh yeah. She's already got some stuff in here. So we're gonna get her set up. She should be able to put like soap and all that. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. Glass cleaner, awesome. What this means is I have a bunch of electrical work to do in here. We've got a lot more to do in the shop. Again, I would love to hear from all of y'all who are willing to teach and not call me stupid what it looks like, guys. What does it look like to you? I do need to go ahead and put some caulk around these deals here, especially on that side. It's a little bit more of a hole. Really soon, we're not going to have this nonsense anymore. No more extension cords laying on the ground everywhere. We got our stuff in Conduit. This is all going to get buried real shortly. I'm really glad I was able to get this done without renting a small stand-on skid steer. I'm going to need to get a stand-on skid steer or something to get in back here because I don't want to wipe that out with my backhoe. I don't want to accidentally hit the building, and I do need to go ahead and throw material into here. And just a quick reminder, check out our affiliate links down below. We continually grow more and more discounts with fantastic companies, guys. I'm really careful who I work with, and we've got some really good ones. So thank you again, and we'll see you on the next one.